Hello there.
Hello.
Okay, so we're gonna run through a few things because I need a confirmation on a lot of things which we both know are true, and the least you could do for me right now is be honest. Okay, so the first thing I want you to confirm is that you got me in a chat when I was 13 years old with Camila Cuevas and yourself to help you persuade her to send you images. Is this true?
I want to say I don't remember, but it was on Skype.
Yes, it was on
And
Skype.
so I do know I talked to you before about Camilla and I's relationship.
Yeah.
I don't remember this particular chat existing, but I will believe that it existed.
Okay. I'm going to assume that you have seen everything I wrote upon and everything I have made
seen
public.
Nothing. I'm sorry. I'm
Okay.
blocked from pretty much everything on Twitter, and I don't really.
These are all public on YouTube. This has been made very obvious, and Camila, from what I understand, has also talked to you about this. So I'm going to send you in VC context the messages you sent. Okay.
They're not gonna be able to see VC context. You're gonna need to put it.
Okay.
You're gonna need to have Rosie put it into the spawn so this person can see it.
Okay. Give me 1 second then. So I just need you to confirm this because I do have screenshots of the conversation. Most of it has been wiped because because Skype clears messages after 5 years of time. Thankfully, I backed up quite a few of them. So give me 1 second to get hold of it. Okay, so I will chuck it in, and then Rosie will chuck it to you.
These will be in the spawn chat for you, mate.
Is it ringing a bell now?
I'm reading. The first one, no, but the second one, kind of. I remember we had discussions like that.
Okay, so at least that's a bit of confirmation. I'm going to load up because I've got a whole timeline of events that I've had to eventually work out.
Wanted to ask something real quick.
I'm going to state my timeline of events, and you're going to confirm it, and then I will answer your questions because I feel like everything I've gone through is the least you could do for me at this point of time. After calling me a psychopath and all that. Give me 1 second because there's a lot of stuff and I'm just trying to find the exact events. Around 2017, the 8th of the 5th, 2017, you would come to me, as you saw in those chats, saying that how you would end your own life along the lines to get sympathy for people because you weren't getting images from Camila and you got images from 2 other minors, but you said to me along the lines of it wasn't sufficient enough. It wasn't enough. Would you agree with this, that you did this?
I have to assume I did.
Okay. In 2019, so we're jumping forward a bit, you had a discussion with Isabel, or Artie, however you refer to her as, saying that you had a crush on a minor. We know who this minor is. I'm going to say the first initial, being L. They were in a relationship with them, but you were aware that they were too young at the time, being 16, but you tried to use the UK age of consent to justify those actions. You also proceeded to talk about another person's body. The initials were going to start with B, and saying how they had huge bazonkers. Can you confirm this?
L? I don't know who these people are. Is there any way somebody can DM me the name so it's not said out loud?
I will personally DM you name. I will personally send it to you.
I don't know who the first name is. I don't have any memory of this person. And I'm sorry about that if that's the case.
Even all the art they made of you and them together, all the art you talked about.
Was it that?
Oh, yes. Sorry.
Okay.
They go by 2 names, yes.
Then I was not aware that they were under the age.
Okay. But you confirmed that you were at one point in a relationship with them?
Yes.
Okay.
With that person.
Yeah, with that person. The other person
L.
you weren't. Yes, the L person you were, and With the B person, you got images of them when they were a minor, correct?
I did,
Multiple images. Okay. Just seeing if there's anything else I need to confirm. All done. No, with all the information of the timeline which directly involved you, I feel like those are the bits of information I need to confirmed. Okay, Leo, Peaches, you need to help me here. Do you think I feel like I missed anything?
I wanna ask a question, Veir. How old are you?
I'm currently 28.
Okay, so you're 28 years old, and this started in 2015. Correct me if I'm wrong, Crystal.
2015, to my knowledge, it could have been before that, but Veir made me a mod in 2015, so these events could have occurred before, but I would not be aware of it.
Okay, so you're saying a lot of umming and ahhing about a lot of the screenshots that have been presented to you. Why are you umming and ahhing about these?
Well, to tell the truth, I don't really have the greatest memory for these things after I went to a mental health facility.
Well, that's...
And it was only after then that I was alerted that how bad these things actually were.
Mm-hmm.
For anything in Skype, I don't really recall. For the things in Discord, I had access to it more recently, and I was able to refresh myself on the situation.
Yeah. So I'm gonna read some messages from you out loud to help jog your memory. How about that?
I believe these are going to be quite bad.
Okay. You would go on, say, with another person, Artie. If I remember right, she had a pretty big crush on me once upon a time. And another person, I used to do stuff with her too. Artie would be like, wow, no way. And you would say, I know she was too young, but she was 16 and the age of consent and stuff. I don't know. We didn't think about it too much since it wasn't IRL, but I mean, she's seen me and I've seen her at this point. Because Truth or Dare will do that. So you got images of people, correct?
I only know I got images of one person.
Well, in this situation, you've definitely said that you've admitted that you've got images of this person who you also knew the age of.
Can I be informed of which person?
L and B.
One person being
Okay.
16 years old at the time.
I was not aware of the L person's age. I promise I thought that person was older than they were.
Well,
For B, I do admit I had images of them.
Yeah, and they were underage.
Because one thing I do remember, and it's cleared from the Skype chat, but hopefully you remember this conversation. When we were casually talking in the Skype chat, as we did on a daily basis with the rest of the mod squad, you were unsure about my age. You assumed that I was 18, and when I revealed to you that I was 14, you were shocked. Do you remember that conversation by chance? I don't have any.
I don't
screenshots
remember a
because-
particular conversation, but I do recall thinking you were older than I thought, or younger than I thought.
Okay, yeah, because I like I said, Skype clears messages after 5 years, and I don't have that, and I don't expect you to remember every little detail, but I just want to see if anything rings a bell. Okay, go on, Peaches. I just wanted to add that on.
Okay, so another thing that I want to ask is, why are you suddenly now getting in contact with Crystal?
I wanted to try to clear up some of the confusions that seem to be going around on the internet.
Confusions or fact?
I guess clarify some things.
Alright,
So that
well, what do you want to clarify?
it's the right-
Wait. One thing I'm a bit confused about, you seem to already contradict yourself. You said that you haven't seen any of the threads because everything's blocked, but now you're saying that there's confusions going around. Which one is it?
Alright, then I will clarify. I have not personally seen them. I have been told about some things that
Right.
aren't necessarily correct.
Well,
Some-
first off, can you say what it is that you've heard and then try and clarify to us lot?
I have been told that people have been attacked for defending me during this situation.
Alright, be more specific.
Such as the attacks on Camilla.
Okay, Camilla.
As far as I'm aware, she did not know the extent of the situation.
So
Can
the
My
She
DM.
knew.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so let me completely clarify. She was aware of you adding me to that chat with me and her. She was aware of how you spoke to me and many of the minors within the chat. Now, I don't know if you can see it, and I don't know if you can have the moral compass to put yourself in my shoes or another adult's shoes. Of if you saw any adult speaking to a minor in that way, that adult should have been dropped from the very beginning. Not 2022, not 7 years later. No matter how big or small it is, you should have been dropped. And Camila actively chose not to. Now, Camila, I will give her the benefit of the doubt that Camila is not responsible for your actions, but she allowed it to happen. She allowed you to be around minors. Many, many minors. It's like, I thought of an analogy, and I like it. It's like, imagine there's a fire, and there's someone with a water hose, and they choose, you know what, I'm going to let this fire burn. They didn't start this fire, but they're just going to let the fire burn, and burn, and burn, and burn, and then it burns down a whole house. Now, it's not their fault that the house is burnt down, because they didn't start the fire. But they could have easily prevented this from happening. There's a bit of more responsibility on that person at that point in time. Would you agree?
In normal circumstances, yes.
I actually have a question here. You're the person who's being put on blast here for grooming several kids and getting sexual explicit images from them, and you only come out the woodwork when Camilla is the one getting told off and getting bashed online.
No, well, I guess technically, yes.
Well, yeah, because that's why you said you're here.
But that also kind of brings me to the next point.
Mm-hmm.
When this all last came up, I tried to get in contact with you, Crystal, and with several other people. Oh Lord, I can't remember their name.
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay.
it was through Artie.
Okay, mind if I jump in, if that's okay, Veir? Like, can I just...
Okay.
Okay.
Will I be able to continue after?
Yeah, no, of course. I just have...
Okay.
Actually, no, I'll let you fully go through it. I do apologize.
Okay.
Yeah, finish.
I could take a second to try to find the message, but Artie told me about all the people that were very, justifiably angry with the situation, and that she was still in the group, and she and I talked out our issues between each other, and she told me how angry quite a few people were still.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And so I told her I would like to apologize to these people.
Okay.
When was the last time you spoke to Artie?
With Artie, look, I think it was about 2 weeks ago.
I see. Has Artie by any chance turned herself into the police, to your knowledge?
I do believe that happened. That's the last thing I heard.
We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see.
Okay, so just to add to the point, I have to disagree that you wanted to reach out to me because I was in contact with Artie during this time. If you could send a screenshot to Veir, that'd be greatly appreciated, Rosie.
Okie dokie.
No, if you take your time to read that.
You...
And tell me when you read it.
In the Gail, that was the name I was trying to remember.
Now, to me, that doesn't really look like you're sorry or you wanted to reach out to me. That looked like you were trying to slander my name, as you have in the past. Because I was going, as you know, I was very, very angry at you when I came back from care. I was enraged because I realized everything you did to me and many other people. And when I talked about it, I was banned. And my name was slandered. I was removed from the Glitch Shell server because of your direct actions of you gaslighting Holly because I was warning her about you. And every single mod believed it. And I was made out to be a villain. Now, please do forgive me if I'm being a bit too cynical, but you can see with these two cases, I don't believe that you are sorry for what you did to me. Can you see how I can see that?
I don't believe I already told the truth.
But you two were dating. Why would she lie there? And I seen the actually no. I did see the screenshot. She sent me the screenshot. As much as she said she's not going to send anything to me, she's because she wants to be your partner. She sent me the screenshot of you calling me a psychopath, and she deleted it after.
A psychopath. I did call you a psychopath.
Yeah, she sent me that, and that's exactly what she said right here. I already told you he called you a psychopath, and he said he wouldn't apologize to you. Which part of that is a lie?
That I wouldn't apologize.
How?
I did apologize, or want to apologize to Gail and Kiki. I didn't know how to get in contact with them. She said she would tell them, and that she would try to get them to talk to me.
You can see how it's a bit counterproductive saying you want to apologize to somebody and then call them a psychopath in the same sentence. You know?
That was not in the same sentence.
Well, when you know what I'm trying to say here. Within the same, let's just say, week, you can't call someone a psychopath and be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry for my actions." That's an empty apology.
I was talking to several other people at the time, all of them corroborating the story that you had gone off on them about multiple things that weren't true.
And one thing that's not true.
Interactions that they'd had with Crystal, in particular.
Really? And they provide evidence for these claims, or do you just take them at face value?
I took them at face value.
All right. Well, I can't really expect you to be all that bright considering the fact that you seem to think children are good sexual partners, so I suppose that tracks. So here's my question for you, Veir. And Crystal, if you want to interrupt, don't even ask. Just do it. This is your rodeo, all right? Why are you trying to talk to Crystal? What is it that is so important that you must now, after years, reach out to Crystal? I'm on the edge of my seat here. What is it?
Well, I found out that many of the people have been named today, such as...
Found out many people what?
So, I'm trying to organize my thoughts. I apologize.
I see.
I found out that many of the people I believed about Crystal may have been lying.
And you now discover this after you've been removed from Doofus Dork's friend list.
Because from comedic way of his friend list, because I've just been informed, or not just I think it was like maybe 20 minutes before you messaged me, that Camila finally dropped you. Which I wish she did so many years ago. I find out that people finally got through to her to be like, you should not hang around with a sexual deviant. And after that, you come out to me being like, oh, Crystal, I need to reach out to you. I need to speak to Crystal. You see how convenient that is? 20 minutes after.
So, more importantly, what's your actual goal here? Is your goal to try to paint everybody else that you've talked to as the actual perpetrators of the misinformation? Is it to try to get under Crystal's good graces, which, good luck, to try to get back in Camilla Dickhead's good graces? So, what is your actual goal here? Because it's been, 7 years?
Yep, 7 years for the actions against me.
I thought it was a good time to try to make amends and ease the burden for some people.
Ooh.
I have to say, I know probably
anybody I've heard
are going to disagree with me, but I'm happy at least you reached out. It's better late than never. But that's what I'm going to say. I'm happy you finally, after all this time, swallowed your pride and decided to reach out to me. That's why I'm willing to talk to you.
But you still haven't swallowed it all the way yet, Veir, because you've been sitting here umming and ahhing about what you've done. Why don't you just, put on your big boy pants and actually talk to us like an adult?
Don't worry, we're gonna go ahead and cover that right now.
I'd
like to know, is that Crystal or?
Yeah, Crystal.
I'll be right back. 1 second.
Okay, cool. I can continue without Crystal around. My question for you are a couple here, Veir. Now that you finally decided to grace us here at Senate with your presence, first and foremost, how long were you talking to Camilla after she kicked you out of her server?
I don't believe I spoke to her for, I think it was 2 months after I was first kicked.
Talking about recently.
Now?
Yes.
Oh, incredibly rarely.
You'll play League of Legends with her, yes?
I believe we played one match trying to salvage our friendship.
Wait, hold on. On whose behest was it trying to salvage the friendship?
Mine.
Yours. So Camilla knew what you did actively now multiple times and still was okay with you having an attempt at salvaging a friendship via a video game.
Well, that's really all we know. We just play games together. It's what we do.
That's not what I asked you, though.
I don't.
I have to ask,
How
do you
to
just
respond to
find
that.
ways around... Do you just find ways to be around the absolute dumbest of people because they can aid and abet you, or what here?
I don't believe that is a fair question.
How is it not a fair question? Do you
Because
think
I
the
don't
people
think
who you hang
I'm
around...
able to quantify who's dumb.
So, okay, so I'll
I
give
think
you a
many
good...
of the people I've encountered are quite smart.
Okay, well, many people would be a lot smarter than fucking you, Veir, because Jesus fucking Christ. All of your friends are either gay or children, right? So, I'm gonna ask you, the people that you speak to, do you think they're on your IQ level, or do you think they're too hard to understand?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Are they
Do you think
on
the people
your...
on your level are smarter than you or dumber than you?
At this point, I believe they're smarter than me.
Well, most people are, but can you still understand the sentences they speak, or are they at to a point where you don't quite understand them? Because
It
if
varies.
Because it gets to a point where if you're this fucking dumb, you shouldn't be able to understand most people. So I guess the people who you're hanging around with must be pretty fucking stupid. So I want to know, mate, how good was your therapy? Because it took you, 5 months to be deemed cured of your paraphilia?
No.
Okay, so tell me, how long were you in therapy? Because
It's ongoing.
ongoing. Okay, are you over it?
No.
So you would still say that you're still a danger to children, then?
No. They deemed that I was no longer a danger to myself or others.
Okay, and did they say that you were no longer a danger to anyone 5 months in?
They let me out 2 months in. That's what I was told then.
2 months in. So you were at a point where you're preying on 5 kids at the time of July of 2020 when it was first brought to Camilla. You were then left to your own devices until January of 2021, which then was when you were kicked out to go get your magical therapy session, and 2 months later you were deemed cured?
Not cured, no.
But you're let out, safe around kids, yada yada yada.
What did you do that made these people think that you had what the Bible calls fruit fit for repentance? In other words, showing that you have changed. Because that seems to be the excuse we have heard from literally every admin in that godless server, that you have somehow proved at that point that you weren't going to be a danger. What was the evidence you gave them to prove that?
I just answered their questions and participated in the daily activities.
What questions?
Well, here's where...
In Red Rock, they would ask me every morning, do I have thoughts about harming myself, harming others, or I'm trying to remember the exact wording they used. Preying upon anyone, I believe was the wording.
Okay. So, here's where we go back to you talking about the people around you being smarter than you. Let me go ahead and...
Can I just say? Oh, sorry.
Go
I
ahead.
completely disagree. I personally feel, and I hate it, that you leached off Camila these last few years. Ever since I made that post to call you out, I will give you the benefit of the doubt, went to get help, which I find it very hard to believe, but we'll go with that story. You have leached from Camila, and you've now seen the devastating consequences this has led to.
Yes.
Because her name has and will continue to be famed, not by me. I've got my point across. I got you banned. I got you removed from the server. I fought so long for that to happen. But Cammy decided to bite back at me, make a reply and slander my name, forwarding the lies you told her. You told the rest of the squad, and she was made a fool because of it.
Let me go ahead. Veir, Question for you. You ever seen a pit bull?
Yeah.
All right, so say you have a pair of little siblings, a little boy and a little girl that are your little kid siblings. They're like 5 or 6. If you found out that a pit bull had mauled children in your neighborhood, death, would you bring that pit bull into your house?
Honestly, funny story. We did have a pit bull.
We don't want funny stories. You right? Okay, we're gonna cut it. No funny stories. Answer the fucking question.
I am. We did have a pit bull. It had attacked people in the past. Obviously not to death because they killed those dogs immediately. But we had a pit bull. It had attacked people. And my younger sister was around it. It was the friendliest animal we'd had.
You are referring specifically to a thought experiment where it has mauled and killed children. So the question is, would you let that animal around children? Not the one you grew up with, not the one in your specific circumstance, the one, the hypothetical that has been presented to you.
The hypothetical pit bull that had ate and killed children? Probably not.
Yes. Probably not. Why would you not let it around?
Because clearly there's something wrong with that dog.
Yeah, guess what? In this scenario, you're the dog. Except instead of mauling children to death, you just sexually harass them. For your own deviant pleasure based on literally everything I've seen here. And I don't think we really need to delve too far into that. That's part of the issue. So, here's another question for you, Veir. Why have you scrubbed all your information from resource sites?
I did what?
Why you scrubbed your personal information from resource sites?
Like what?
Like the white pages, Intellius, People Finder, Been Verified.
I don't know what any of these sites are.
All right.
I don't believe that you don't know. I can handle this. Thank you. Here. Why is it nobody can find your address?
Because I'm technically homeless.
Technically homeless. What does that mean exactly?
It means I live in friends' houses.
Friend do you live with, Veir?
I'm not telling you that.
It's fine, because I heard you got a phone call a little while ago, right?
I got several.
Huh? Who do you think the first one's from?
Voice is very familiar.
Very familiar. At this point, all I had to do is hand your phone over to the police when I get enough information to forward it to them properly, because I need to get in contact with the rest of your victims and compile a lot more information. Does your friend know that you've diddled children?
I believe so.
So this friend of yours knows that you have sexually harassed children and they're happy to house you. The question.
I don't believe you care about anyone's justice.
Really? Who I care about then? Tell me.
Not the people I've hurt.
I mean, who I care about. I want to hear it.
I think you care about you.
Hey, so what am I getting out of this exactly?
You're getting quite a bit of popularity out of it, it seems.
Am I now? Who are you talking to exactly? Do you know?
I had never heard of you before because I don't look into these things. But
so how am I getting popularity out of this?
Well, several people are. A lot of videos being made out about it. They're getting a lot of attention.
But who am I? Who am I exactly? Have I done a video?
I expect you to be one of those people that have made a video.
Nope.
I don't think I've made a video on this. I'm primarily a cartoon and toy reviewer, buddy.
Oh, well.
I just have a moral compass, because what I had been
doing
for
buddy,
the past 4 years...
and I had similar interests in the past, huh?
Yeah, except that it stops at the childish things instead of going into children themselves. Thank you.
I don't know if I believe that, sir.
You're welcome to believe whatever you want in this case. The difference is you're never, ever, 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 ever going to find any instance of me preying on children, because it's not what I do. In fact, for the past 4 years, I have been hunting down, exposing, and reporting predators to the police. That's what I do on my free time. And I certainly don't do it for clout. Because clout is worthless and meaningless. Worthless and meaningless. Because people like you still continue to thrive. Because other people do not know how to act like adults. Miller should have removed you immediately. 8 years old, you preyed on 5 children, you think you have some sort of intelligence here in which you can be cocky. That's just absolutely hilarious.
Nah. I don't really think I have any kind of intelligence.
That's very clear that you don't, but you clearly think you have some ability to be smart here. Even though you're facing down a lot of nonsense, even though you've hurt literally everybody you've come in contact with, even though your life has essentially amounted to absolutely nothing.
You definitely, You've definitely gotten a lot more cocky since you last came in. I'm glad you're at least talking proper.
Yeah.
Have you tried looking underneath the sink to find some chemicals?
I don't know where they put them.
Mind if I jump in? There's a lot of heat, and I'm not saying it's not justified. I want to know, like, why. You said you had more questions, and I want to know the other questions you had for me. That's what I want to know. Like, so go ahead, Veir, ask any questions you have for me, because I asked all the questions I wanted to ask you.
Okay. The first one was I was going to ask if Artie had given my apology to you, because I started to think she did not.
No, she never did.
And then you confirmed that for me, so that was the first question. The second question was I wanted to know what had actually, like, been said.
What do you mean? Like, in what sense?
Well, like the things going on online. Like, if there was a way I could clear it up or provide, like, you know, I guess confirmation for some things, but that already happened as well.
So, yes, you confirmed some details which we needed confirmed, which we knew were true, we just needed it backed up, if that makes sense. We like to have everything backed up with a source, which I provided, but, you know, when you have more than one source, it's nice to have, you know? There's a lot. There's a lot to it. I can send you a video which covers it quite firmly if you are actually interested in this, to find out how much has actually happened now because of all of this. Would you be interested in watching that video?
I'll be honest, I don't think it matters anymore.
You just said you want to know.
I came in to ask about it,
Okay.
Hear that side of the story, but at this point I don't think it matters.
Because you know that we're not really on your side, right?
Oh, no, that's not it. I don't care about that. I didn't think you were in the first place.
Well,
I didn't think I'd ever be able to convince anybody of that either, so it's not like that was ever an intention.
Convinced?
No, well, you've definitely come in.
Wait. Convinced of what?
Oh, that I deserved any kind of sympathy or anything. That was never an intention.
Okay.
Well,
what other questions? Sorry, Fiji, I want to get these questions out of the way. What other questions do you have? Because I'm more than willing to answer them right now.
So, a lot of people that had nothing to do with us are being attacked. Not like Camilla, but people that I had lied to in the past that had believed me. They are now also being attacked, even though they've completely cut ties with me since finding out everything is actually true.
Yeah.
They're still being attacked. Is there anything planned to stop that from happening? They don't deserve it. They were lied to, and just, you know.
Well, I've never personally called out anyone else. I've never gone on anyone's names, and people have chucked their heads out to Twitter to try and defend Camilla's inaction and try to downplay your actions because you lied to them. You're lying, and deceit has caused them this pain. This is on me. This is on you. I can't do anything because there's so many lies. There's so many lies which have been told about me that most of the mods still do not want to talk to me. So because of your lies, I can't clear up anything, even if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I can answer something for you because I don't mind running my mouth on Twitter about people like you. I have been going to people who you may have been calling friends. Some of them maybe you shouldn't be calling friends because they are minors, and I ignore those people. But the adults that are old enough to understand what grooming is, when all of that evidence has come out and they're still running their mouths, then they'll get dragged through the dirt. Anyone who listens, it will cease. How about that?
That sounds fair.
Because there has been a few mods, Faith Souls, who've actually come to the Senate, and we understand that they knew basically none of this. And that Camilla downplayed a lot of it to them, because Camilla didn't fully inform the mods of your actions. She downplayed it, and you know that in the Diamond chat. You know most of the Diamonds weren't even informed of what you did. They didn't even know that they were around the child predator. And they were hurt by Cammy. Cammy hurt them by lying, by not telling them the full truth. So Camilla isn't fully innocent in this either. She held back information and put minors at risk. Without you knowing, what you've done, with you coming back into the server, Camilla has committed a crime. It's by definition child endangerment. So as much as you are trying to make it out you care for Cammy, your actions has now led Camila to committing borderline a crime by letting you back in the server around minors, around 13 minors and minors. I know there's more. I know there's more minors because I know more of the mods were minors, but I can't get that evidence because they don't want to talk to me because you made me out to be a freak, made me out to be a psychopath, as you said. So the people who I want to protect, my friends, who I still care about, are getting hurt because of your actions. Well, next question.
Man, that sucks. I don't have any more.
Okay.
Awesome.
Leo, say what you need to say.
I want to ask how many. Camilla keeps running her mouth on Twitter, and I would like it from the source. All those people in those chats, were they your friends?
Which people?
People in the diamond chat, the trusted chat, all that bullshit.
Most of them no.
Most of them no. Okay, thank you for that. Any of them that are your friends that are minors?
No, I don't believe so.
You don't believe so? Do you check? Or is it the fact that...
Well, I know we started not allowing people that were a certain age into the server. We stopped allowing that in. I'm not kept up on any rules or stuff. I was only kept to the diamond server.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really know what happened in any mod discussion anymore.
Well, don't worry, because I can tell you right now that the people in that diamond chat, at least 10 of them were minors. I think 13 now has been confirmed.
Yes, 13 I know, but like 10 I have proof for. I have solid proof for. 13 I know, but I can't get the other 3's ages in text. But I know there's more, but I can't fully confirm that. There's a bit of information I want you to confirm, because Camila has actively lied about this as well. When you were unbanned from the server, you were a greenie for a while, weren't you? It took Crow's video for you to be restricted to Diamond.
I don't recall being a greenie at all.
You don't recall being...
You don't recall? Don't worry, we've got the proof for it, mate.
Yeah, okay, and I don't know why I was asked.
Yeah, you were... we also had someone backing up this game moderator saying it was basically after the Crow video, then you were restricted. You were allowed free reign of the server as a greenie for multiple months, putting many minors at risk. Camila never made this public.
Alright. Nate, I'm gonna ask you a question. With this therapy that you were doing, did you tell him that you'd preyed on 5 kids? Yeah?
No, I think it was 1.
Sorry?
I believe I said 1.
You said 1. Did you say that you got sexually explicit images from a child?
From that 1.
From that 1, okay. Because a lot of the things that you were talking about self-harm and all that bullshit, it sounds a lot like a lot of self-care stuff and not caring about other kids. Have you told the police that you got sexually explicit images?
The police were the ones that came and picked me up and took me to the facility after I told the therapist initially.
Well, no, I asked if they knew that you've got CP downloaded onto your computer.
I don't, but I assume they were told.
No, well, I'm saying to you that if you get any images on Discord, it gets automatically downloaded onto your computer, so yes, you had child pornography downloaded onto your computer.
Same with Skype. Skype has a temp folder which stores images, so even if you didn't open the images or save the images, you still receive them, and they were saved on your computer automatically through Discord and Skype. That's how it works.
This is a different computer than the one I had back then.
Okay.
I haven't had access to my Skype in many years, and I haven't opened it.
Yeah, well, you were in a Discord server that did the same thing.
Discord server?
Yeah, Simon server. Oh boy, I really want context, and I really do wish you would tell me about this. Why did Simon wipe everything? Because the second I started talking about you in the Glitch Cell server, Simon started to wipe everything. Because we know about Simon's little crush on a minor. We know how he wanted to groom that minor. But so why did he wipe everything when I started speaking about you, if you know by chance?
Last I heard about Simon's server was that some kind of drama had started in there, and he didn't want to deal with anyone anymore that he used to know, so he just deleted everything.
Okay.
That was the last
Yeah.
I heard of it. He and I haven't talked in a while.
Yeah, because he told me about everything you did to him as well, when the lying financially to him, with saying that you're trying to get a job when you weren't, how you copped him out of thousands of dollars. He told me about that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's obviously a close link between you two, because I don't think anyone would give anyone thousands of dollars just for the funsies, you know?
We were very close at one point.
Yes. Yes. So that's why I feel like he did a runner and deleted every message between me and him when I started talking about you, because he knew he was as guilty as you. Now, you can't confirm this because you weren't Simon, but I just want to throw that out there. I'm also aware of that information.
I have no idea. I don't know any kind of drama that Simon's involved in or anything that he may or may not have done.
Okay.
Okay, I want to ask a question. You were dating Camilla, right?
For a period of time.
Could you be more
Quite a long time
specific
ago.
about a period of time?
I think a year and a half or 2 years.
Okay,
What?
between when?
Wait, what? You were dating before I was even within the mod squad, and you were dating
Yes,
for
we
years.
stopped for a long time.
Yep, and
Which, huh?
I believe
was
it
the
was about 2
timetable?
years. Let me think. It was right after, I think, the second episode came out. Let me go
Is
check
that when
the
you
date of that.
started, or you were already dating by that point?
That was when we started.
Okay. Oh, so darker yet darker.
Yep.
Yeah, darker yet darker.
And you were dating for about 2 years.
We dated for about a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
We broke up for a while.
Yep.
And then we ended up getting back together for, I think, about another half a year. Or maybe a full year. I can't recall exactly how long that one lasted.
Okay, and during that time, did you ever meet up
What do you mean meet up? Like,
in person?
In person.
no,
Like in real
we've
life?
never met in real life.
Did you ever send gifts to one another?
No, we could not.
You come in
So-
here and you're saying that you want to apologize to
Yeah,
people,
I was about
but
to say, can I know it's probably going to be diddly squat to me if I'm being honest, but I would actually like to personally hear you apologize.
All right, very well. I was just answering the questions. Sorry, I got sidetracked there.
No, it's all good. It's all good. You were answering. I understand.
Crystal, I do sincerely apologize for the pain that I've caused you and for lying to the people that you cared about, causing them to turn on you.
Okay.
I know you might, not believe it, and I know it doesn't really mean anything at this point, but I do legitimately apologize.
Like I said, it probably means little to nothing to me right now, but at least you could say it. Like I said, I don't know how much that means to me, if it means anything to me, but it's something to hear those words come out of your mouth, at least.
okay. How apologetic are you for grooming 5 kids?
Incredibly.
And yet, you haven't done the one thing that you could do to actually prove that you're sorry.
If it's what I think it is, and that's probably going to be how today ends.
You're explain, please.
I don't really want to, but
I think after everything, as you said, if you're deeply apologetic, I think it's the
two
least you could do to me.
2 options,
No.
Chief. You can either turn yourself in and tell them literally everything you've actually done, or, I don't know, you can go meet your maker and he can decide what to do with you.
it will be one of those two things.
Okay, hold on. Before, I want to ask a question, because we do have a unique opportunity here. So, I'm new, so I'm kind of lost. Personally, so you're the predator, correct? You groomed 5 kids, correct? This is not me asking to rub it in your face. This is just me clarifying.
I guess so.
Okay.
I'm just confused by where the question's coming from. Sorry.
All right. Well, so yeah. Okay. You'll see where I'm going with this. Now, personally, to me, I don't think there's any kind of rehabilitation for you. I think personally to me, but I'm a nobody, so what does it matter to you? But personally, in my view, I think you should die. But whatever. What I want to ask is, now that you're getting therapy, I'm assuming because you're getting therapy, I'm assuming on some level you are remorseful of what you've done, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Looking at it from that lens, what Camilla did when she let you back into the group around minors, right? What can you say about that? Now, do you think that was like, was it a dumb fucking move to make on her part, right?
Looking back, what I can say about it, at least what I know from my side, is that Camilla was under the understanding, from what I had told her, that there was only one person that had been hurt. And that she had been in contact with this person and asked them what they wanted to happen. Oh, Jesus, my Discord's crashing. Hello?
No, I can hear you.
Okay, it seems like it's just stopped responding, but you can still hear me, so I'll keep going.
Yeah.
She, from what I understand, she only knew about one person that had been hurt. And she had been talking to that person about what they wanted to be done.
Okay,
Can I
ask a question to clarify then? So when you say the person you've hurt is the person you've groomed, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And when you say that they made that decision on letting you back in, or whatever the fuck, was with, I'm assuming, the permission of the victim, correct? Like they were like, okay, I don't mind him coming back. So sort of thing, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, again, from the perspective of somebody, even like, okay, minus the 5 victims, this specific thing that you will know about, right? From a perspective of a person that you are now looking at that, regardless if the victim gave permission or not, because the victim is an underage child, from what I understand. An underage child doesn't know what the fuck they're doing half the time, hence why they're an underage child.
From what I understand, they are an adult at this point.
What? When
They weren't
okay.
then.
Okay. Wait, were they an adult when they gave permission for you to bounce back into the room, or?
I thought they were. I don't know.
Were they? Can anybody clarify?
I heard no. Crystal, do you know?
I feel, from my understanding, and I can't give confirmation because that victim hates my gut, from what you've said, and said about me. I can't confirm this information, but to my understanding, from their age, they were either just about to turn 18 or were just 18. So it's very fresh.
That's not an adult. Let's be clear. 18 years old is literally a child just now getting into adulthood. Their still brains are scrambled. So, now that we know that, or that we can agree on that, I ask you again the same question. Do you think it was a dumb fucking move to let you back in anywhere near the victims or that community?
Kind of a yes and no. Can I explain that?
You sure?
Okay. Looking back, yes. But given what she knew at the time and what she believed, also no.
Let me simplify this. So she knew that you were a predator.
And she knew I'd hurt one person.
So she knew you were a predator.
Just, I guess so, for that person, yes.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, one person, 5 people, don't matter. If it's one person, you're still a predator in this situation, correct? So she knew that you were a predator, right?
Doesn't matter what I say.
Okay, that's weird. My point is that I think in any normal person's brain, once somebody's outed as a predator, the most normal reaction, like, you're not just a pedophile. You're a predator. You've crossed the line. A pedophile is somebody who just has these attractions, but they don't act upon them yet. You are the one who acted upon them and broke several laws, from what I'm understanding, right? So to me, right, if one of my fucking, not just ex-lover, if friends was somebody like that, you're fucking gone, dude. Like, I'm not letting you back anywhere near anybody. regardless of whether a victim says right, regardless of whether a victim says anything or whatever, it don't fucking matter. For example, let's say you have, like, how old are you?
I stayed at the beginning, 28.
28. You're just okay. So you're 28. Like, now let's imagine you have a kid, right? And then somebody on the internet gets the nudes of your kid because your kid is dumb and they do dumb things on the internet, right? And somebody gets their nudes. Somebody's predating on them, right? I don't think your reaction would be, oh yeah, it's all right. You said you were sorry. I'll let you back in. That's a very, very weird fucking reaction to have. It's a very dumb fucking reaction to have. It's a very irresponsible reaction to have. What she should have done is kick you to the curb. And what you should be saying is that she should have kicked you to the curb if you're as remorseful as you say you are.
He's actually not. That's why he tried to get uppity with me when I started tearing into him. He's not remorseful. He wants pity.
Nah.
I can't read his mind.
Why? Why did you think any of this was okay?
I was incredibly sick.
You are. I feel you still are. You use your position within the community. You were the co-writer of Glitch Show. You knew that position it put you in. You knew that you had power at that time, the illusion of power, and you knew people looked up to you. And you abused that power to an unholy degree, traumatizing many children. In 2020, when I came back from care and I spoke up about it, you almost got me eradicated from the whole Undertale community. You tried to get me banned from the Underverse server, but failed because Jackie actually heard out my side. Why? If you were so remorseful and tried to understand it, why in 2020 did you try to completely obliterate my name?
I didn't have help in 2020. I was still the same person.
What was your mindset then? What was your you saw me speaking out, you saw me warning people privately to protect them from you. What was your mindset then when you saw a victim of your past speaking up about it? Why did you try to get rid of me?
Well, if I'm answering honestly, at that time, I convinced myself that you were lying, honestly.
So you
I know that probably doesn't matter, but...
No, it's... Like I said, it means the least got, but at least you're giving me replies which are... I don't know. I don't know the words right now, but... So you generally thought I was lying about you to other people? You thought that at that time?
Yeah. So
you thought the right choice of action was to contact H. I think we both know who H is, yes? Do you want me to message you that name?
I think I know who you're talking about, but you can if you want to make sure.
Confirm it. That person.
Okay.
Is the same person we're thinking about, yeah?
Yeah, I thought that was H.
Yep. You messaged them, you got them to leak my DMs, you got them to remove context of the DMs, and you made it out that I called... I'm going to say his name. You made it out that I called Mark a paedophile when I never said that. I never said that about Mark. I would never in my life dare to make claims about that.
I thought you did, and I just now learned that you didn't. I still went this whole time thinking that had happened.
No. Never did. And you know what? Yeah? Mark still thinks I did. Mark still thinks I called him a paedophile. You did this.
Here's my issue here. The whole LARPing like you have a lack of agency, because unfortunately that's what this is. Because here's the thing.
Yeah, okay.
Say, well, you were sick, you say this, you say that, but believe it or not, as mean as I've been to you in this call, if somebody has an attraction to children and they have never acted on it, my value is always that they should get help. But what you did was you feign getting help. You go to a therapist. You don't tell the therapist the extent of what you've done. You find a way back into the same community you were ousted from by answering their questions, knowing full well you're going to offend again. Full well, they don't have the full details, and you stayed there for years. And you spread lies about Crystal. You tried your best to cover every possible track you had. That's not a man who struggles with something and He's ultimately trying to get better. That's a man who's trying to make it appear like he's getting better while doing his best to sabotage anybody who will out him. What you did a full cognizant, you did of your own volition. It was not because you were sick. So we're going to go ahead and take that excuse right out from under you right now. You did it because you wanted to damage the person who can ruin your ability to be in these communities. That's why you did it. You know that these other people you can easily sucker because you're a predator and that's what predators do. You knew Camilla was easy to sucker because she's dumb, and so is the rest of her mod team, and so are the other mush-mouthed mental infants that operate in her server that think they have any clue about how the real world works. You know full well what type of people they are, and you preyed on it. And the only reason you're coming here now is because you are now completely disconnected from it. Because Camilla got outed for playing video games with somebody that she knows unquestionably by now is a child predator. Even now, saying that you wanted to apologize, Crystal, you are still lying through your teeth because you're not going to change. You don't care to. You don't want to change. What you want is to continue doing things unabated and with no real consequence. What you want. And for the record, if your response to this is saying to this group, well, I'm going to do one of those two things, and let's be honest, we all know which one that you're trying to do, you're not going to have a single tear in this chat shed for you.
Nope.
Yeah, I didn't think so, but I don't care. It's
But
fine.
like, even with you saying that, it rung me back to when you said it to me in the past.
Yeah, I know.
You used it as a weapon. You used it to get sympathy from me, from Ditto, from Simon, from Artie, and all these other people. The few people I named there were predators, but they still gave you the same sympathy I gave you because I was facing so much. But now I don't believe it. I don't know what to say. I don't know. Because all I want from this, the outcome I want from this, and Leo and Peaches might disagree, I want you to self-confess. I want you to be behind bars, because that's the justice I have loathed for so many years. Same with Artie. I want her behind bars. I want you to feel like I've done my job. I've protected minors. I've protected the people I care about. That's what I want from this whole situation. You
Oh, I know.
behind bars.
I'd like him to be behind bars because death is an easy way out.
Mm-hmm.
I said one or two options. I'm good with either of them. The fact that somebody's willing to house you knowing what you've done is absolutely incorrigible, and I do not know how anybody can operate with that low of a moral compunction. I really don't.
At the end of the day, like Leo said, if you're looking for ways to get back into communities, if you're looking for ways to do this,
Oh,
do
not at
that,
all.
whatever. Well, I mean, I don't know. He could be lying to me. Point is, if you really want to atone, quote unquote, atone for your sins, you would report yourself to the police and you would provide them the evidence of all the shit that you probably have. There's probably logs, DM logs that you still have lying around somewhere that you could show. Maybe not the actual material, but you know, or just simply call them up and tell them, guys, I did this shit. You know, whatever. Basically confess to them so they can fucking launch a proper investigation into your ass and see if they find anything. Right? That would be the legit way that you can atone for your sins, because at that point you're literally throwing yourself into the fire.
Another thing I would like to say is that you questioned me, how could I reduce some of the pain the other people are feeling, like because they're getting flamed. The people you may have seen as your friends and the people I saw as my friends are getting flamed and hurt because of this. If you want to reduce that, you need to this is what I feel you need to do. If you do want to reduce pain in any kind of way, even the smallest amount, you make a public statement, which I will happily make it where I will happily promote the public statement. Admit everything you lied about. Admit how you slandered my name. Admit how you made out that I was this monster. Because it's gonna really fuck with people. It's gonna fuck with so many people in that squad, within the Glitch Shell server. But at least they're gonna know the truth. And I think you can agree, if you have repented for your sins and you notice that you're sick, that you were sick and you still are, in my opinion, you can at least notice it will at least reduce the pain because the truth is out there.
All right.
Yeah, because I find it sick that you're coming in here asking Crystal to try and minimize the pain of other people. Like, fucking Christ.
So, like I said, if you can just make just a whole notepad. Do you know how to make a twit longer by chance?
I don't actually.
Well,
Okay,
you're old
so-
enough, you can Google it.
Yeah, that's what I figured I could do.
Yeah, if you can do that, just make a notepad and make a twit longer and tweet it. Mention me. I will give you my app through PMs. Mention me with this app, and I can retweet it so the truth is out there, because that's all I've wanted with this whole situation. That's what my personal goals is with this: for justice to be served, for minors to be protected, and for the truth to be out there. And that would just be the icing on the cake for me in this whole situation.
I'd like a bit more help with another thing, though. This little server that you were all in with Simon's server. Do you know what adults were in there?
No, I don't remember who all was a member. Well, that's not true. I remember one member. I believe their name was Kiki.
Wasn't Kiki a child?
I thought they were an adult.
Yeah, I think they were a child.
Oh, well then, no, I don't remember anybody.
Okay, so I'll ring a few bells for you. It was you, Artie, and Simon.
Artie was there, yeah, that's right.
Artie was there, yes, Artie was there. That's the knowledge to my understanding, because I was, again, a minor at the time in this situation. So my memories are fuzzy about it. And I've been forced to relive all this to try and bring justice to the ones who were wronged. So I would ask you to try and think hard about who was in that server, because there's a lot of adults who were in that server who should have called out everything what happened and should have never allowed it to get to that point where it got to.
Adults, I don't know, but I will message you the names of the people I do remember. I don't think they were adults, though.
Well, of course you'd remember the children.
Yeah.
You're probably in most of their DMs.
Is there anything else you'd like to ask there, or any other things you'd like clarification on, or anything like that?
These are the names I remembered being in there.
I will check it. Yep, that means that was the main characters of that server. Yeah, I would agree with that statement. Yeah.
I don't recall anyone else in there. I know there was more people, but I don't know who they were.
Okay.
Because I want to ask another thing, actually, because I find it quite amusing that a lot of you all have the same kind of mindset. You came in here thinking that this was just petty drama, didn't you?
No, I understood that it was a very serious situation and that I should take it.
And yet, you came in saying that we're all doing this for clout and numbers and bullshit like that.
Not all of you. I just felt that person was.
Hey,
The one,
that's cute.
the one person who isn't making a video on this, yes.
Yeah, that turns out.
I can say
You guess wrong sometimes, I guess.
I don't know how much you care, if you care anything about this. These people here have supported me more on this whole situation than the whole of the Glitch Cell crew has. These people who I was lied. Camila made out Hopeless Peaches, to be a horrible person. And she's the one who supported me through this whole situation. Because Camila lied about Peaches, the same way she's lied about me. And isn't that crazy? Someone who I thought was an evil person has supported me throughout this whole thing. They've managed to get justice. They managed to get Artie to self-confess to everything. These people have supported me so much, and I cannot thank them enough for everything they've done. So they're not here for clout. They're not here for drama. They're here for justice, and I can back them up 110%. Now, they might have different goals, and in the day, I know I'm very passive in this. I know I want the bare minimum, and I'm aware of that. I know I'm way too sympathetic, and I know I should be screaming at you, because I think I have my full right to, but I'm not. Because I just want the truth out there. I just want this to be over. I want to move on. I want to move on with my life after all of this. So that's my take on you thinking it's all for clout and drama for some people. It's really
That's all right. He apparently thinks that because I cover toys and cartoons, therefore I must be a child predator like he is. Ooh, isn't that spicy?
Yeah, that was a
No,
very
I just said that because I got angry. I apologize for that.
I don't accept it.
Yeah, I don't
Off.
care.
Wait, hold on. Wait. If you don't care, then why do you apologize?
Because I was angry. And I apologize for getting angry during my... I don't know why I came here, but,
but
I do apologize for getting angry during that time.
Yeah, but
I don't
he
really
said
apologize to that guy. I don't know his name.
Name is Lio Convoy.
Lio. Yeah, I don't really apologize to you. I don't give a fuck. But
Oh,
Oh, so you
That's
took
fine.
your apology back.
It's fine. Make sure that it's down the street and not across the road. Okay.
So hold on.
Yeah, okay.
So hold on. How can you be so consistent? First you apologize, then you take your apology away. Well, you say you're guilty for predating. Then next day you might say I'm not guilty, and I don't feel guilty for doing these things.
I don't apologize to him. Let me clarify. I don't apologize to him. I apologize to everyone else that was around with me getting angry when I wasn't supposed to.
Well, I wouldn't know
my
anybody about that.
So you're basically just being a little bitch because someone called you out. You came in here thinking we'd all be passive to you.
Oh no, I didn't expect any kind of passive stuff.
And yet you're pissing your
I just
pants
don't
and
know who this guy
crying.
is. That's all.
Does it matter? I think anyone who doesn't diddle kids can come up and be a lot higher on a pedestal than you. Anyone can fucking judge you, you stupid dumb cunt.
No, it's literally you apologized for what you said to him because you got mad, and now you're like, "Oh, I don't give a shit."
It's hilarious.
I feel like. Oh, sorry, go on, Leo.
I love the fact that I tilt idiots like this so easily. Maybe it's because your dad was an absentee in your entire life. I don't know. What is it? What is it about me that really sets you up and makes you that upsetty spaghetti? I'd love to hear it.
Hey, Papa was a good man.
Clearly not
Really
good
naughty,
enough.
No, he was a bastard.
So are you.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's
I
nice to see
feel-
that it runs in the blood.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the first time you have been spoken like this in years? Yeah. Has
Yeah.
anyone in your life in the past 7 years since the whole of Glitch Show, has anyone spoken to you how Leo or Peaches have spoken to you now? Has that happened?
No.
No. I can imagine it's very much a culture shock because the Glitch Show fandom is an echo chamber, and it has led to
Primarily-
this whole circumstance.
Also primarily
this.
children, so.
Yes,
Yeah, to be
children,
fair-
you don't understand right from wrong. Because Cammy knows right from wrong. You know right from wrong. Children don't. Children don't understand right from wrong, and they will follow everything Camila says because funny big number. Wow, cool animator. She's so cool. Camila does nothing wrong.
Considering that we've got all the main questions out of the way, I've got a question.
I thought we got all the questions out.
Well, this is my little question.
Someone wants to chip in. Listen
So-
to DC context.
I basically I can't fucking see. Oh yes, of course you can. Be pulled in. No, I wanted to ask, well, I've seen a lot of the messages, okay, about how fucking horny you are for Camilla. Like, is she that fine that you had to stop preying on kids to try and get over it?
Did you say we're done with all the questions?
That was my question.
Excellent.
Alright.
Oh wow.
You didn't answer. I guess she really wasn't that great.